Yes. So just a quick thing. Last time I was trying to do it. If you remember that we were trying to create the website, the link. I was telling you the option, right? So so this is how it is. So let's say you have the category, and then there are different fields, let's say, and the web name. So according to our data, since I just have to, have to demonstrate this. So I've kept the one website here, but you can imagine, in case if you want to get a different website, and you want the user to click on, let's say the accessory here, right? These headers here, and you want them to go to that specific website. So this is a good option from that perspective, which I'm telling you. Last time we were doing a very small mistake, but since I had to cover a lot of things, so I didn't. We just skipped that part. So if you remember that there was the option called the cell element, and this is where I was telling you that you can have the web URL option as well. So this is only for you want to click on some the header, and you want to go to some specific website. So make sure first of all you have the category selected, because I want the field actually selected. So I want that if my team clicks on the category, they should go to the respective the website, which is written here, right? So it's already category. We don't have to do anything. We'll just go in the web URL. And here, so you have to see that where is that website field. That's it. Nothing, anything else about it. This is just simply the website, and you see the website, it's automatically going to create these the links for you. Okay, so if I click on this, I am going on my website. Correct. So that was a very small update for you. So I want to actually go and talk about the visual, which sometimes I find this useful, and I have seen people also they use this decomposition, actually the visual in their dashboard. This is the one. This is the one. Decomposition tree, right? It actually helps you in segregating the data based on the categories and the subcategories, right? How it happens? See this. So it has fields like analyze, explain why, and then tooltip, right? So analyze is what you want to analyze. So for us, let's say I want to analyze the process-wise sale based on the country, and further than maybe the age group on the item, in this way. So it's the name actually is a decomposition. So you will actually see this type of the graph. It basically tells you, it divides the main category into the subcategory which you add here, right? And through arrows, it tells you that how actually what is the contribution. Now, for example, in the analyze, I'm going to put the sales, put this numeric number here, and as you can see, it's telling me the entire process sale right now, right? And I want to look at this sales based on let's say, as I said, that country by country. So I have put the country here. After the country, I want to add one more field, which is category. You can add as many fields as you want. This is the beauty of this decomposition, the tree, the visual. Okay, I'm just adding these two only. Tooltip, we don't have to. Now see, this is how it looks like. Okay, so if you see this plus sign, you can click on this and you can split this, decompose this based on the country or the category. Up to you. First, we will definitely go and like to see this based on the country. So we will create this. We'll click on actually the country, and you see that it tells me the country wise how the data is divided. And this arrow, in case if you have too many categories. So I'm just actually going to increase the height of this. Okay, so I guess we have all the countries here. It's definitely going to take space, but there's a way of doing it. There is a way of just put this on the visual in a specific format by not showing all these things. I'll tell you this after finishing this. But right now we have to.
Okay, I have one question here. There is any filter to get top 5 countries, like while making this tree chart?
There is, sorry, what?
I'm asking, there is any filter option wherein we get top 5 countries? As of now, this chart is showing the all countries name, right? So if I need only top 5 countries, so how we can, filter it out?
Well, generally there are two ways. One is you can go for some if conditions using the top bottom items, or we have this filter option here, which basically I'm planning to cover today. So this filter part, if you all look at this part, we have never touched this part. So here also we have those options. Okay. So we can use that as well. So we will discuss that, I'll tell you. Okay. So now, but in this graph, I mean, as such, you don't have that specific option. If I want to close this, I can close this from here. I can go back. I can use category first. It's up to me. So, but I like to see the main category first. So here you don't have that top and the bottom. If this question came up in your mind based on these high value, low value, this is very different. And I really find this very, I don't know, I mean, this is all ridiculous. This is on information which is gives, it's pretty much clear from the visual itself. They have put it there, I don't know. We will see to that, but right now we just want to create the tree this based on the country. Okay, so user can click on this, or you can just publish this as it is. Once this is done, guys, you see then for every country, this always comes in this way, sorting order. Nice. So we have the maximum sale coming from India, France, and then, so on. Now further, you see these plus signs, so you can split the data further. Now, because you have put only the one category here, so you see only the one category. I'm just going to click on this, and this way, whenever I click on any of the country, just wait for some time. Maybe I have to reboot my system. It's not, this much slow. It immediately reflects the data, but this is how it is. Okay, so I can click on any country, and I can see that how further in that country the next category is working. Okay, and this, if you see these bars also tells you the whole story. So this is the maximum one. This is the second highest, third highest, and all that stuff. Okay, so this is your basically decomposition tree. If you want to add further more categories, like I want to see again in the category, let's say I want to see how the manufacturers, how they're doing. So I can click on this, and I will have that shop name as well. See that, right? So this is how it creates the link. These lines, if you see the dark lines, this is telling you that you are looking at the sales of UK and then in the toy section. Once you are in the toy section, you don't need any highlighter here because it's understood it's for toys. I simply keep this up to 2 levels. Okay. So anytime I can quickly go and click on these options, as you can see, right? You can just go and click on these options in this way. If I want to go back to the, let's say I want to show this, the visual just based on the sale, and I want user, they should go and automatically, click on these, the buttons, and they can just have a look. So I can also go back. I can click here, and it's all gone. If I click back here, see, you will actually see the country. Every time you don't have to create this. Once you have created it, you will be fine, right? So it's going to show the data in this way. Now, customization is there. It's very simple. And so, for example, let me show you. So this is something, don't touch it. I have no idea about it. I've never used this actually particular part. I don't see even any changes when you change this to a relative. But let it be there. In the tree, the tree, so here they have given some different formats like, dense and sparse. So it changes basically the view of this. So by default, it's on the default mode, and I'm happy with that. One thing which I actually, if I have to use this, so default action is the filter. So when I've created this for my clients, like I think maybe 2 or 3 times in my dashboards. So I have always used the collapse option because what it does actually, so you see that what happens, let me show you the collapse first. So when you have the collapse, basically what happens if right now we are on the USA, right? Now, suppose if I click on the UK like this, you see the data changes, right? I can see the categories based on that country. So far, nothing new. Now, if I click here again, this is what it does, collapse, right? In the by default action, which is the filter one, the highlight, if you remember, this option doesn't work. If you re-click on the same field, what happens? It still shows the same, I'll show you. First of all, let's repeat. So I'm looking at these data, for example, right? Now let's say I just don't want to see this now. I want to keep this back to the country level. So I can re-click here. When you re-click here, yes, this will go off. Okay. But so again, I mean, so if I first click here, this is gone, and if I click here, this is gone. If I click back, this again reappears. Very simple visualization. If you want to keep this filter and highlight, then what happens? This option works like this. Suppose now you're on USA. If you click here again, see what happens. Basically, what it does, it highlights the one you have actually clicked, and the rest of the ones they are now I mean, they're not as bright as this one, right? So they have a dim color. You can say that they're not brighter. So this is something I find the option here. I mean, filter and the highlight. Nothing so so useful in terms of like I can really have some significant amount changes in the data information. It just the point that if I select here and I want that, reselect here and I want that the level should be, rest of the levels they should disappear, then you can use this, right? So I find this so meaningful here. But I mean, still the option is there. Okay, there are a lot of things here which generally I believe that should be improved. But anyways, so tree setting is all about this. Connectors, again, you see that. So they have given you two different colors, selected line and then the unselected line. So unselected line should always be on the lighter color, right? Isn't it? This, if I change this to the black one, you see this is the black one. Yeah, so this is all about it, right? Selected line. Just kind of, you can distinguish between what you have selected and what you have not. Though, remember that this country always pops up here. So we can see here as well what is selected. Okay. All right. So then you have the bars. So this bar again, I don't use this. Scale tool maximum level is the by default, which I find that this is fine. This is, perfect view. If you try to change this to top node, it does some changes here. See, this area basically the overall it increases that area, and it on the other side decreases the real performance that the area which it assigns to this. I really don't find this so. This is there. So I'm just showing you, and then there is a parent node. You see on that. So I just keep this on the level maximum. It's fine. The size is all about 100%, and like this. See, if you just want to increase this, okay. Again, very normal feature. It's simply ignore this. Then you have the colors. So for the positive, this is good. For the positive bar, you can have a different color. For negative, you can have a different color. Remember, in our case, there's no negative number. And this is the bar background, this background. So background, I think, should be lighter and performance should be darker, isn't it? But just, I want to show you what really happens. See this, correct? So definitely we like to keep this light, which is perfect. And for positive, negative, so let's say I simply change this to this, this way. You can see that. Okay, so this is matching with the bar background color. We can have more, in fact, a darker one. Yeah. So you can, put some colors in case if you want. Category labels, these labels which you see here, the country labels, so this is again the same thing. If I bold this all gets bold, India, UK, USA, okay. And then let's check this. So you have the font color also, which if you want to change, fine. No change we want to do. Headers, all the headers which you see on the top of this. Let's bold this. You see that? These are the headers. Again, simple. Nothing I think we need to change. Yeah. Then you have the subtitles. So subtitles is what you see below these main headers. They're like, there's the USA, or if you select the category will also, get highlighted here. But we don't have anything in the category, so there's no point of doing that. Then you have the background if you want to change their background. Okay, so let's say this is the background, for example, maybe something else. Okay, this way. Very basic information. Conditional formatting is something you can use. Conditional formatting for these bars. Like we have given them specific color, but let's say how I use it. If I have to highlight some specific thing, like something extraordinary, that can be in the negative direction, that can be in the positive direction. For example, now you want to highlight something. If any country has a sale more than, let's say, 50,000, we want to see that a different color, right? So we can use this data bar option here in the sales, okay? And we can apply here. We have done this previously also. We don't want the gradient color because I want a specific color, one color. So you can go in the rule, and in the rule, we are applying this in the sales section. Any value which is greater than, let's say 50,000 and less than, let's say 70,000 or whatever. Since we have the maximum sale at 67, so you can put here any number, and then I'm just going to show that on a different color. So you can see that this is how it is, right? This is how it is. So they are now going to be given they have the visual, I mean, they will look different from the others, isn't it? Rest, everything is same. Title, effects, you have seen that. The background, I'm just going to kill this. Some lighter color. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So this is how it is. Now, so suppose, let me just put one more category. Okay. So let's say I put here shop name. Yeah. Now see that. So when I click on this and I say I want this data to, yeah, like this, for example. Yeah. And let's have this on the collapse mode. Yeah, fine. So if you see, when I click here and when I re-click here, this is how it is, right? So if you see these headers now here, you see these icons here, lock, and lock, right? And I can always close this. I mean, if let's say you have shared this report with somebody and they want to see this in a different way, like they want to see that first shop and then category, all that, right? So if I click here, for example, if I click here, everything is gone, right? Now when I'm going to click on this, see, country, this is what first option I will see. And if I go in the India, because you have already defined the flow, how it is going to go. So you just have to click, right? In case if as a user, I want to have a different look, I told you that we can always close this, close this, close this. And then when I come back here, I will see here that plus sign because we have basically removed the headers. So you can reform this, and anyone can, right? So they've given this option called locking, as you can see. This is unlocked right now. So if I have to lock the entire thing, so let me click here first. Like this, for example. Now I'm going to click on this. So this is the last level. So I'm just going to lock this. As you can see here, this is locked now. The icon is changed. And because this is the last level which I've locked, everything will be locked. Now you won't see the close sign here. Nobody can close this now. I mean, you're telling actually you're supposed to look at the data in this way only. You're supposed to look at this data in this way only, like which is country and then category and shop. Now you may ask me that, well, we understand this concept, but anyone can unlock this again. So what is a big deal about it, isn't it? Yeah, because if I unlock this, I can close this, isn't it? But you see, the first thing is that when you're locking this particular thing, you believe that your audience is quite mature and you're actually kind of telling them that the analysis should happen in this way only. We should not change this, right? But there is a bigger picture, which is what? Once this dashboard will publish on the BI service, you remember I told you there is a BI service where we can share the reports. It's a cloud-based the platform. Once you publish that report over there, and then I say that I want to give this, let's say to a person, I want to give the read-only rights of this dashboard. So when they will have the read-only rights, they will not be able to do anything on this part because I've locked everything. So many things actually, you see that, you will, when you will see that, okay, so they've given the options, but those options can be revoked, can be cancelled, right? Anytime by the user. So why they are there? So most of the time it is because of this perspective. Then when they go in the cloud system when they go in the BI service. And from there, when you start giving the access to people, so these things will then matter. Because once I have locked this, when this visual goes over there, people will not be able to do anything about it. They will not have those rights. Okay. Of course, admin will have all the rights. Okay. So I mean, from this perspective, anyways, we will see this BI service is not a big deal. It's just a sharing part, how we share the reports. So we will discuss that when the right time.
Ajay, I have one question. Let's suppose if we share the same chart in the Power BI services and we give only read and write, read only access, right? So at the time, user will use the this tree chart while clicking on the country or category.
Yeah, read only means they can definitely go and view the report. But if they want to change the report, they want to go and use, let's say, what do you call these things they want to change, they want to add something, or they want to remove something from that, that will not be allowed. Because in the read only, what happens, automatically what the system does, they don't give the access to the data. So data, those readers will not be able to do anything on that data. It happens only when you have the admin rights, right? So if I am giving you the read only rights, you can just go and look at the report. Of course, I mean, look at the report does not mean that you can't work, you can't click anywhere. You can. It's the same thing which we are, like the way we are using this report here. But plus and minus you can't do. And on the other side, if I, let's say, for example, I'm home and I've given someone's, let's say, Dave is here, so I've given him the admin rights. I tell him that, okay, Dave, I'm actually not available, but you know what happened? Management said that the color has to be changed for these cars when the sales car get up. So we have to use a dark green color. So why don't you just go and, change that? Or maybe I say that for any visual, I mean to say, not just for this, that, the category should come first and then the country. This is how management wants to see. Now, because he has got the admin rights, so it means that he will have that everything available through which means these all access through which he can change the report, right? But he's going to do all that, the things over there in the BI service for which he needs a license, right? So this is how it is. And when he does the changes, automatically that report, which is because it's already on the cloud, so whatever he does, the change he has done, that will be updated. Everybody will be able to see the same report. Because you see, it's not like I'm sending you this via Outlook email. I'm sending this dashboard to all of you, and I'm calling now somebody and I'm saying, do this change. Now he has done the change. So unless he will send this data, this report, this dashboard again back to us, and then we will go and, replace the original, the old report with the new one, we will not be able to see, because that change has happened on their system, right? And he has not informed us that the change has been done. He's keeping the file with him. So unless he go and, or the other way is that if he's not mailing, then generally in the departments like MIS or data analytics, company always provides you a shared folder where you can keep your reports over there. And this is always done. If you have working on the reports day and night, that counts of the reports you're making. So who is going to email? What people do, they just have that shared drive and they keep the data over there. So I know that when the Dave is going to open that file and the changes he's going to do, he's going to put that file there. And tomorrow, if I have to see if there is any change or what is the latest in the file, I will not use my own desktop system to open the file. I'll prefer that the shared drive. So such all these hassles, to and fro, the movement of the emails, it's all got taken care by now the VS service. Okay, so that is how it is. It's like, I have a website. You know that, right? I have given you the access of my Power Query course. Now tell me one thing. If let's say I give you the admin rights, you can maybe delete the Power Query course from the website. If you delete it, what will happen? It will affect all, right? All of us then will not be able to see the course, right? Or let's say you add some course over there, or I change the pattern, So this is how it is. So that's not a sort of any software you install. It's all the cloud service, and that is why we take this report over there. Otherwise, if we say, no, Ajay, I don't want to pay $10 per month, have a very small company, and I have only 3 people who are going to take care of my data. So what is the solution then? Well, then we say that, okay, so manage your data with this. Either create some shared drive and keep updating your files. Whenever you update, keep them there, or You can manage through email also. So say I wanted 2-3 people, isn't it? So this is how it is. Okay, so this is now done. Let me just this level lock. Just click on this. Let's keep this as unlock. Okay. Yeah. So anytime now you can close this. So this is fine. This is a very general information I'm giving you about this decomposition. But you see, overall, what it does, it tells you that how the data is flowing from one part to the another, the contribution factor, all that. So it's a very different view. And sometimes, maybe for some specific industry, this is really going to work. Okay. So, yeah, like for example, if you're creating some COVID report, right? How many cases have been arrived, and then state-wise or the country-wise, if you want to see, this is going to be very, very going to play a very important role, because you see, with just one click, we can see the entire trend, right? So that for this country, India, then in those 28, 29 states, how the cases are going on, So the information which it provides, it's good. But the feature-wise, I think by default, whatever they give, it's sufficient. Formatting section is just a normal one, and not like those the cards or the tables or the matrix, because you see their formatting section is another level, and also in the ribbon sort of the visuals. Okay, now next visual, guys, I want to talk, which is again one of my favorites, because, and I'm sure you must have seen this in Excel also, like a speedometer, if you know. Anyways, let's not talk about the Excel speedometer. It's a gauge chart. This is basically, you can track your the targets. Where exactly you are, and this is a beautiful chart. The gauge chart. Let's click here. Let me show you. So you see, I have this gauge chart, and here we can have set the target sort of arrow, and then we can see that how far we are from the target, or if we have overachieved. How it is. And this also takes very less space. You can fit this anywhere here. We will use this in our dashboard. Now, it has these, the value, minimum value, maximum value, target value. You see all these options are here, right? Basically, value is, what is your performance? What is your performance? So let's say we want to track sales or item ship, how many items we have shipped, for example. I'll just put this here. And you see, by default, it will try to create this for you. Like 26,000 is a number total. Right? How can I cross-check? Sometimes you want to cross-check the data. So now you know the table and the matrix. Okay, so you can always do that. Let's put this here, and let's go and put the item ship here. You see that? It's working. Yeah. So now you need not to go and check all this in the Excel, or maybe if you are somebody who goes here and then try to cross-check the data. Well, you have a table now view. You can just go and cross-check anything. Okay. So see, this number is with us, right? Now, by default, it picks the number, which it doubles the number, 53K. Okay. But you can always tell that the minimum value should be something and the maximum value should be something. Since we don't have any specific column for this minimum and maximum, so we will not use this, right? Like for example, if I have any minimum value, the header, I can put that here. Okay. Like for example, if I simply go and show you that I want to put the sales here just to show you. And now the sale is, so sale, if you add this, sales is a very big number. So it starts at this 308K, right? So obviously item ships are just 26,000, and this is around 3 lakh, I think. So you won't see that. So don't worry. Okay. So I'm just going to put this minimum. So when I put this minimum, so it means in my data somewhere here, the minimum sale happened for that day is 1 also, this one. I'm just explaining you that, if you want to use the field, you can. Okay. Same way for the maximum, but we don't want to use it because I have a specific place for this. I will put these values manually. Okay. So let's go to this. This is my sale, and what I want to do, let's click in the gauge axis. So minimum, maximum, target. So see, minimum sale to 0K is okay with me, right? Maximum, you can keep whatever you want, right? Like for example, if I just change this to 60,000, right? 60,000 is coming. Otherwise, you can delete this, and you can, keep this on the auto mode as well. Auto mode will always be the double of this. Target, but there is a target for us, and for us, the target actually is 3,000 items that we want to ship. And now you can see this target is there. Wonderful. right? So we are very much close to this, especially in the end of the month, especially for the bank people, sales people, this is really going to work, right? So because they always have this pressure of the month end. So the color, so we can choose the colors. For example, I am just going to choose some dark color, and the target color is okay. I'll just go with the black one. Yeah, fine. Then you have the data labels. You already know all these options. These all labels which you see, right? These 0K and this. So if you want to off them, you can. But definitely, I like to keep them. I don't want to do any changes here. Let me keep this as bold. You can keep this as none. If you remember, this will give us the entire figure, whole number. So data label is fine. There's no, we don't want to opt this. Target label, I don't want this target. This target arrow is okay, right? This arrow is telling me. So I prefer keeping this off. And the callout value is this value. So maybe I like to change the font of this. So we can, I can use Arial Black as well, which obviously will be very thick and dark. Or I can use this one, COG bold. Yeah. And then you can just use the color that you want. Display unit is perfectly fine. Just I don't need anything. Okay, so we don't need anything. So in the general tab, all the same options. I'm just going to use some. Yeah, fine. You don't need the visual. So you see, this is basically a process speedometer, you can say. Gauge, actually, gauge is the right name. And now you need to understand one thing. See this now. We will take care of such things in the dashboards, but you understand that, how one thing can change the another thing. You see, if I put the slicer here and I'm like to view the report based on here, let me put the hierarchy here, right? So we have a slicer here. Now, if I choose this 2020, what's going to happen? You see, I choose this, I'm choosing this, and the target is not visible here. What is happening here? Right? What is happening here? Isn't it the problem now? Basically, and when I say clear all, the target comes. Now, see, guys, things, they may look very easy for you, but when you actually start working on them, right, that's where you actually learn. I'm giving you the download for this report, and this may look very easy to you, and it is easy, but when you start working on the real data and the reports, such things can create a problem. So we have to focus on the fundamentals. You see, when you create this 26,000, it's created on what? Overall process, right? And on the overall process, you decided that the target of the process is 30,000 sales, right? So it's quite obvious that if I select any specific year, my sale will go down, definitely, because this is an entire, throughout the 3 years, the sale. So definitely the number will be a short number than this, right? Now, if the number is going to be, let's say 10K or 5K, these and these will also change, which is okay. But then what about the target? Because target is not going to change then. Because target is 30,000. So if I'm going to put this as 2020, the sale shows me 14K. Now 28K is the by default, as I said, it has given you the number, right? So in that case, that the target, which was 30,000, it does not make any sense. The target you will show here, because that was for the entire process. So what are you going to do now? Well, now it depends. It depends. What is the requirement? Like, for example, at this point in time, I'm interested in publishing these numbers on the process, and it should not affect, the number should not change based on this. So you already know what you're supposed to do. We just, as we discuss this, we just go and say edit interaction, and then we will click on the none. So in that case, the entire report which you have created, that report will change according to the slicer, but this number will not change. This number will not change. Okay. And the other way around also is there, that in case if you are planning that, that if I have to have a target line for every year, then, then you got to think from that perspective. Then maybe we can create some different columns using tags that, if this slicer has not selected any year, then let's say this number has to be something and the target has to be something, which we will discuss in the DAX only. And or maybe this should go blank, who knows? Just instead of 26K, you should say here 0 or any, I don't know. But if it selects a 2020, then it should give me the target based on the 2020. So basically, we can write upon the DAX that if the year selected, so there is a DAX function, like just to give you some, kind of the idea, because in dashboards, a lot of things goes and then you got to think. So for example, this is a selected value. So we can say that if the slicer selected value is 2020, let's say the target is this. If the selected value is 2021, then the target is this. Now you are working individually on these years, so you can set up the targets. And obviously they will be almost the same. It won't be like one side you're saying 10,000 or the other side you're saying 80,000, isn't it? So when you create this type of a DAX, so what will happen? There will be a specific value. There will be a specific target, right? Because, in the if condition, at the end of the day, we will have only one target based on the condition, right? So if I select 2020, that DAX will return me a number called, let's say 10,000. And that is what? And that is what we will use. That is what we will use this in this, the gauge, this, the field over here. Because then I will not go here. I'm not going to go and use the 30,000 here. I will simply use the FX. Yeah, we have the option here. And I say that, show me my DAX. The DAX I have created, right? Whatever the name. And that DAX, when it appears here, so your target will be automated. So a lot of things. So I just wanted to give you the idea that, you are not going to create just the report as it is, or drag and drop. Okay? Because that anyone can do. So these things can come and then you will be like, oh, now what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's why DAX are very important. Anyways.
I have one question. Could you please click on the 2022?
Yes.
Yeah. At the time, if you see the chart, the item shape total count is changed. Number formatting has been changed. If you click on the 2020, please click on the 2020. Yeah. Now it's showing in the different format.
Yeah, because it's so it's a small number. Yeah. It's a small number. So yeah, so that's a very good observation. So what you can do is now, because you see this is now 6623, so it might be due to the size thing. So let me just try to no. So what we will do now, let's say we want to keep this as K factor only. So let's go here, and this is the target label and the call out. So this is the 14K is the call out value. We can always cross check. Yeah. So let's go here and let's see. So what I will do, I will say that you have none, for example. If I say none, then this is how it's going to look like. Now let's try to do the reverse, because obviously this is not the way I want. I want this to be 14K and so on. So let me select the right visual, and so I'm going to keep this as 1000 because it was on the auto mode before. That's how the BI does. So I'd say no, because in auto I see that because of the number change, the formatting, the number of digits sometimes they are changing. Like this is 14,000. So in the 6,000, it's this is showing me 6000, right? So there we have this number. So I'd say doesn't matter, just keep this as 1000. And now if I click here, the problem is solved. Okay, so this way you can. All right. So well, that was a very good observation.